Imagine waking up each day knowing that you are cherished and protected by a loving Creator. This is not just a comforting thought, it is a profound truth that many of us overlook in our fast-paced lives. In a world full of uncertainty, the promise of divine guidance and unconditional love can offer solace and direction. As we embark on this journey, let us explore the depths of this divine message and uncover the truth about our futures. Prepare yourself to be captivated by stories of faith, resilience, and the transformative power of God's love. Chapter 1: Acknowledging Divine Love. From the moment we are born, we naturally seek love, comfort, and approval. This yearning is embedded deep within us, but what we often overlook is that the most profound and everlasting love comes from God. His love is unconditional, eternal, and encompasses every aspect of our existence. God begins His message to humanity with a powerful declaration, "I the Lord love you without limit." This isn't just a fleeting expression of affection, it is the very core of our identity and being. Without God's love, we would be lost, but in His love, we find purpose, strength, and peace. Personal story: Sarah's journey to divine love. Take the story of Sarah, a single mother who faced the daily struggles of raising her children on her own. Sarah worked long hours, juggling multiple jobs just to provide for her family. She was exhausted, and life felt like an endless cycle of stress and survival. One particular morning, after a sleepless night, Sarah found herself sitting in silence while her children were still asleep. Her mind raced with worries about bills, school supplies, and how she would find the energy to keep going. But in that quiet moment, something incredible happened. A sense of peace came over her, unlike anything she had ever experienced before. It was as if a warm embrace surrounded her heart, gently whispering to her soul that she was loved, not because of what she did or didn't do, but simply because she existed. That love, she realized, came from God. She felt the words, "You are loved beyond measure, my child." This moment shifted something deep within Sarah. Suddenly, the weight of her responsibilities didn't feel so heavy. She began to see her role as a mother not just as a duty, but as a calling filled with love and purpose. Sarah's encounter with divine love gave her a new perspective on life. She no longer viewed herself as merely surviving the day-to-day struggles, but as someone cherished by God, with the strength to rise above her challenges. This new understanding of God's unwavering love allowed her to parent with more patience, joy, and gratitude. Her relationship with her children deepened as she realized that the love she poured into them was a reflection of the infinite love God had for her. Transforming power of divine love. Sarah's story is a beautiful reminder that when we truly recognize God's limitless love for us, it transforms not only how we see ourselves but also how we live our lives. His love offers us peace in moments of chaos, courage in times of fear, and comfort in seasons of despair. It is a love that never falters, even when we feel unworthy or overwhelmed. Just as Sarah discovered, acknowledging God's love is the key to unlocking the potential within us to love others, face life's hardships with grace, and grow into the people He created us to be. Chapter 2: The Importance of Obedience and Faith. In our spiritual journey, one of the most powerful lessons we can learn is the importance of obedience and faithfulness to God. He calls us not only to believe in Him but to actively follow His teachings in every aspect of our lives. In His message, God declares, "When you walk in obedience to my word, you become a shining light in the world." This light is not only for our own benefit, it is a guiding presence for those around us, a beacon of hope in a world often clouded by uncertainty and doubt. Obedience to God is not merely about following rules, it is about trusting His wisdom, even when the path ahead seems unclear or difficult. David, a testament to faith and obedience. One of the most powerful examples of faith and obedience in the Bible is the story of David. Born a humble shepherd boy, David's life was far from easy. When the prophet Samuel anointed him as the future king of Israel, David's journey was filled with trials. He had to contend with the jealousy and wrath of King Saul, who sought to kill him out of fear and envy. David had many opportunities to take Saul's life and claim the throne, but he chose instead to remain faithful to God's plan. David's unwavering obedience to God's calling, even in the face of adversity, was remarkable. David's faithfulness wasn't rooted in immediate results or personal gain. He obeyed God because he trusted that God's plan for his life was far greater than what he could see in the moment. Even when he was hiding in caves or running for his life, David continued to pray, to seek God's guidance, and to act according to God's will. And through this faith, God rewarded him with extraordinary victories, eventually placing him as the king of Israel, a position through which he led his people with wisdom and strength. David's story reminds us that faith and obedience go hand in hand. His success wasn't born out of his own strength, but from his relentless trust in God's guidance. The key to his victories was not in his ability to conquer on his own, but in his complete surrender to God's will. Obedience illuminates our path. Just like David, when we align our actions with God's teachings, our lives begin to reflect His light. This light serves a dual purpose. First, it illuminates our own path, helping us navigate the challenges and trials that life inevitably brings. Second, it shines outward, providing hope, inspiration, and encouragement to others. In a world filled with confusion, uncertainty, and moral ambiguity, our obedience to God's word becomes a clear and visible sign of His presence. Obedience, however, is not always easy. It requires faith that God's ways are higher than our ways, and that His plans are for our good, even when we don't understand them fully. In moments of doubt or difficulty, it is easy to feel discouraged or question whether following God's path is truly worth the effort. But the example of David shows us that when we remain steadfast in faith, even in the darkest moments, God will guide us to victories far greater than we could have ever imagined. Faith and obedience lead to transformation. Faith is the fuel that powers our obedience. Without faith, our obedience can feel like an obligation, a series of empty actions. But when we trust in God and have faith in His promises, obedience becomes an act of love, a response to the grace we have received. It is through this faithful obedience that we experience God's transformative power in our lives. We become not only recipients of His blessings but also vessels through which His light and love are shared with the world. In David's story, we see how faithfulness and obedience led to his transformation from a simple shepherd to a king after God's own heart. His life was a testament to the truth that when we trust in God's plan and walk in obedience, we allow God to use us in ways we could never have imagined. Chapter 3: Daily Blessings and Emotional Stability. One of the greatest promises God offers us is the assurance of daily blessings. In His message, God reminds us that His mercies are renewed every morning, offering us a fresh start, new strength, and guidance for the day ahead. This promise is not just about material blessings, but also about the emotional and spiritual sustenance we need to navigate life's challenges. The act of recognizing these blessings, day by day, plays a crucial role in stabilizing our emotions and deepening our connection with God. The power of renewed mercies. Each day presents us with new opportunities, challenges, and uncertainties. It is easy to feel overwhelmed by the weight of responsibilities or the unpredictability of life. Yet, God's promise to renew His mercies each day is a comforting reminder that we are never left to face these challenges alone. His blessings are constant, even when we may not immediately recognize them. When we take time to pause and reflect on the blessings we receive daily, we cultivate a mindset of gratitude that can transform our emotional well-being. Mark's story, Gratitude as a Path to Emotional Stability. Consider the story of Mark, a man who had long struggled with anxiety. The pressures of daily life, along with the constant demands of work and personal responsibilities, often left him feeling stressed and overwhelmed. His mornings were filled with worry, and his days were marked by a sense of unease that seemed impossible to shake. Despite his faith, Mark found it difficult to maintain peace of mind. One day, a close friend suggested that Mark try a new approach to his mornings, starting each day with a simple prayer of gratitude. At first, Mark was skeptical. Could something as simple as thanking God each morning really make a difference in his anxiety levels? But, feeling desperate for relief, he decided to give it a try. Each morning, Mark would take a few moments to pray, thanking God for his presence in his life, for the breath in his lungs, for the small joys of the day ahead. This simple act of gratitude became a cornerstone of his daily routine. Over time, something remarkable began to happen. Mark noticed that his anxiety, which once felt like a heavy burden, was starting to lift. The more he focused on the blessings he had, the less room there seemed to be for his fears and worries. His transformation wasn't instant, but it was undeniable. By starting each day with an acknowledgement of God's blessings, Mark found that his emotional stability grew stronger. He began to trust more deeply in God's provision, knowing that whatever challenges the day might bring, God would provide the strength and grace to handle them. Mark's story illustrates a profound truth. When we make gratitude a daily practice, we open ourselves to God's peace, which surpasses all understanding. Daily gratitude, a gateway to God's peace. Gratitude is not just a polite response to the good things in life, it is a spiritual practice that draws us closer to God. When we acknowledge the daily blessings God provides, we shift our focus away from what we lack or what we fear, and instead, we anchor ourselves in God's abundant provision. This daily practice of gratitude can have a powerful effect on our emotional stability. By starting each day with a moment of reflection on God's blessings, we are reminded that we are not alone in our struggles. The act of recognizing even the smallest blessings, a warm meal, the laughter of a loved one, a quiet moment of peace, brings a sense of stability to our hearts and minds. This stability doesn't come from the absence of challenges but from the assurance that God is with us, renewing His mercies each morning. The gift of emotional balance. Emotional stability doesn't mean we won't face difficult or stressful situations. Rather, it means that in the midst of those challenges, we are grounded in the peace of God. By focusing on His daily blessings, we cultivate a mindset of trust and gratitude that can carry us through even the most trying times. When we make it a habit to acknowledge God's blessings, we invite His presence into our emotional landscape, allowing His peace to guard our hearts and minds. God's promise of daily blessings is a reminder that we can find emotional balance, even in the midst of life's storms. Through faith, gratitude, and trust in His provision, we can experience a profound sense of peace that anchors us, no matter what the day may bring.
If this message resonates with you, hit that like button and let the universe know you're ready for your breakthrough. Subscribe to our channel for more transformative insights and guidance on your journey to abundance. Share this video with friends and family who need to hear this today. Let's amplify our positive energy together. Your engagement not only helps us grow but also strengthens the cosmic energy we are building as a community. Together, we can uplift each other and manifest our dreams into reality, one positive action at a time.